So my name is Danilo McGarry, and I've been in the world of AI for about 20 years now. It's all I've done my whole life. And I'm super lucky, humbled as well, many times to be ranked by different institutions and publications. So some institutions say I'm top 20 in the world for AI. Some say I'm top 25, and some say I'm top 50. I've worked in AI my whole life, like I mentioned. I was head of AI for Citigroup, the bank, global bank, and also head of AI for UnitedHealth Group, which is America's 5th largest company. So I've ran some of the world's biggest AI programs. I'm a real practitioner. I've built things, and I've done that on an international scale, different companies, different industries. And today I advise companies all over the world how to use this technology, as well as different governments as well. So I love what I do, and I'm living my dream really, which is to use AI and expand it and use it to make people's lives better. It's really funny when you work in AI because a lot of people think that it's just a technology, but in fact, AI is being used everywhere today. Every department in every company usually uses AI. And almost every software that you look and use today is using AI in some way. So the funny thing is, even though I've been head of AI for many companies and now I advise on this topic and technology in general, I get asked to do all kinds of things. I get asked to shape cultures of companies. I get asked to look at the strategy of a company, for 3, 5, even 10-year horizons. I help CEOs a lot of the times. And then when you help a CEO or C-level or a board of a company, you end up getting involved in all kinds of things. Sometimes it'll be the chief HR officer. Sometimes it'll be the chief AI officer, chief risk officer, etc. And they all have very different problems. So the funny thing is today, I would say, and for the last couple of years, whenever you work in AI, you actually end up working in all areas of the business. And like I said, all industries as well also use AI. So it's funny, sometimes I even have to help people with their personal problems, and I end up becoming a bit of a therapist, to be honest, as well, especially when people are scared of AI in some shape or form, usually because they don't know much about it. So in the recent conversation that I had with a bunch of people, but Elon Musk was also there, we talked about how the world will change over the next 3, 5 to 8-year horizon. And a lot of leaders of AI were in the same room, as well as members of the government, etc. And one thing that we agreed on is, AGI is going to exist. It's not something that we will be able to prevent. Even if we put rules and regulations around it, somebody will build an AGI, which is essentially a super AI intelligence. And that will probably happen in the next 3 to 5 years. That was the general consensus in the room. And that's the general consensus in every room when you are talking to people who run AI programs. So AGI will be essentially a system that can do anything a human or a collective of humans can do, but better. So if I get an AGI to build a bridge, for instance, something that's extremely complicated, it'll be able to come up with hundreds of designs and different ways and materials in order to build that bridge. Whereas if I get a team of the best engineers to do that, it will take them quite a long time to come with the designs and the ideas and agree on all of that. And now that robotics is also advancing, there are many companies in this space now as well. And thank God, robots that also help you do your dishes and all kinds of house chores. When you combine the physical robotics capabilities with AGI, you're then going to have a humanoid that can really do what humans can do. So lift and do things and pick up things and clean things and make things. So my prediction is, in the next 3 to 5 years, AGI will exist. Humanoids will be able to have very similar physical capabilities that humans have. Of course, they're already going to be stronger and faster than humans are. And then over that time frame of 5 to 8 years from now, I actually predict that AI will be something that negatively impacts the world. There'll be mass unemployment. A lot of companies will adopt it in order to drive new products and services and drive profitability and bring down costs. And sometimes that will involve layoffs. I also predict that world unemployment will reach 15 to 20% at some point because of all this. But once we get over that hump, and we're able to re-educate, reskill workforces around the world and look at societies and how AI can positively impact them, and also healthcare and a bunch of other things like education, then I think the world would be a much better place. We'll be able to get great healthcare, we'll be able to get great education, we'll be able to do a lot of things that we can't do today for a much lower price point, and that will be accessible to everybody. So there will be a little bit of pain, to summarize, but we'll get a lot of the joy at the end of it once we've managed to readjust ourselves with this new capability that we have. So I'm one of those people that actually focuses on AI from a positive point of view. There are a lot of people who are doom and gloom, and you have to be careful who you listen to. You have to choose the person that you acquire your AI knowledge from very, very carefully. Because if you look deep enough, a lot of people that are talking about AI, they do have an agenda. I won't go into specifics, but I think some of you know what I'm talking about. So choose the person that you learn AI from very carefully. My perspective in all of this is it will be something positive. There will be a period of adjustment because this is a capability that has never existed before. It's definitely going to be revolutionary. When you look at the World Economic Forum, they're calling this period that we live in right now the fourth industrial revolution. The previous industrial revolutions were the steam engine, the invention of coal, etc. So those drastically change how the world does its things and produces different things with the use of power. The new power is going to be AI. So I am very optimistic about the impact AI will have on various different aspects of technology, industry, services that we use every day. And I think that will make the world a better place. But that period of adjustment is going to be tricky. And that's the bit that I dedicate my life to now. It's really that mission of educating as many people and companies as possible to learn about AI so that they can prepare for that period of adjustment and navigate it in the best way possible. So I come from a similar story to Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, although my ending is not as glamorous as his yet. But I came from a country that really had no technology. I don't remember seeing a computer until I was about 10 years old. And telephones as well were quite rare. If somebody had a telephone in their house, all the neighbors would come and use it. It would be a bit of a novelty at that time. And when I went to university, I knew I wanted to do something in business. I knew that I had a skill for running businesses, but I didn't know that I wanted to do something around technology. So I did business administration at University of Bath, which is a great university because they teach you to be very entrepreneurial. But very quickly, when I joined my university, I started to get into technology. I didn't do a computer science degree, though. I did IT management type topics. And then later on, I became head of AI for one of the banks I worked for. A funny story, just because I would tell you a lot about me and how I got into AI. So when Lehman Brothers went bankrupt in 2008, in September, I was in an auditorium. I was working for a bank. And basically, the CEO of that company said to us, look, in a couple of months from now, half of you will no longer have a job. So super scary moment. I had just joined that company. I went home immediately and I set up a plan of how I'm going to use technology like AI and automation in order to acquire clients from other banks who would be failing. Came in next day and I was jumping at any C-level person I could find that day. I would follow them to lunch. I would follow them even to the bathroom. And eventually one of the C-level people at that bank said, look, you've got 5 minutes, because he was just so fed up with me. I managed to show him a presentation of how I would save the bank with different technology initiatives like AI, etc. And he eventually just said, look, you're now head of AI, basically. You're head of efficiency, go and deploy these things. All of your other teammates, unfortunately, won't have a job, but hopefully you can do something that's good for the bank in these things that you've promised. And that's how I got into AI. It was really out of passion, out of vision, and also just commitment. And thank God I managed to do the things that I said I was going to do. And then I became global head of AI. And then, that's where my AI career really took off. So I came from a non-technical background, but really with this passion of efficiency, always finding new and better ways of doing things. And then because of that opportunity that I created for myself really by just taking that leap. I then got into AI, and then from that point onwards, it's been my passion, and it's all I've done, and I'm really good at it, thankfully, and I'm also good at understanding how companies can apply it to make their company and industry better as well. So that's what I love doing today, and that's what I will be doing for forever, unless something drastic happens.